There is a river within each of us that no longer remembers how to flow. It strains against its own current, believing speed is life, noise is proof, and exhaustion is virtue. The modern mind is like a leaf trapped in a whirlpool, spinning endlessly, mistaking motion for meaning. Yet beyond the noise, the ancient sages whisper of another way, one where the current itself carries you. They called it Wu Wei, the art of effortless action, of doing without forcing. Now, beneath the calm gaze of the sky, we shall uncover how doing less may, in truth, accomplish everything. In the mountains of the Middle Kingdom, there once lived an old gardener who never seemed to work, yet his garden flourished in silent perfection. Travelers would find him sitting by the pond, eyes resting upon the ripples, a cup of tea cooling beside him. When asked his secret, he would only smile and reply, "The bamboo grows by itself." The villagers called him lazy. The sages called him wise, for he understood the law that moves all things, the law of Wu Wei, action without strain. To the untrained mind, this sounds like doing nothing. Yet in truth, it is the art of aligning one's rhythm with the pulse of the universe. The Tao does not hurry, yet everything unfolds in its time. The river carves the mountain not through force, but through patient persistence. So too, when man ceases to push against the current carries him farther than he ever dreamed of going. Our age has forgotten this dance. We believe that more effort yields more result, that to slow down is to fall behind. But this is like striking the water to make it still. It only grows more turbulent. The Taoist masters observed that the soft overcomes the hard. The yielding conquers the rigid. Water wears away stone, not through aggression, but through constancy. In the same way, the sage achieves without the fever of ambition. His steps are few, but each one lands in harmony with the path. Wu Wei is not indolence, it is intimacy with timing. It means listening for the silent invitation of the moment, discerning when to move and when to wait. The archer who draws too quickly misses the mark. The musician who rushes ruins the song. In the space between breath and action lies mastery, the still point where heaven and earth meet. The modern world reveres the noise of doing, but the Tao whispers, the more you grasp, the less you hold. True productivity is not measured by the number of tasks accomplished, but by the peace within the one who accomplishes them. To do less is not to withdraw from life, it is to act in perfect accord with it. When the mind ceases its restless wind, when the will unclenches its fist, the river of being finds its way once more. Thus, the gardener by the pond remains our silent teacher. His garden thrives because he works with the seasons, not against them. He waters when the sky is dry, prunes when the moon is right, and rests when the soil must dream. He does not command nature, he converses with it. And in this conversation lies the secret that all who rush have forgotten, that the world, when left to its own rhythm, completes itself. In the mirror of the modern world, we see faces pale from hurry, eyes dimmed by too many lights. People wake before the dawn, not to greet the sun, but to chase the shadow of achievement. They speak of productivity as if it were a battlefield, each task a soldier to command, each hour an enemy to conquer. But in the teachings of the Tao, the one who conquers the self needs no other victory. The Taoist way does not reject action, it refines it. To do less is not to shrink from life, but to move with the ease of water, to glide where others thrash. The ancient sages observed that when the river meets an obstacle, it does not struggle. It bends, flows around, and continues its course. In this bending lies its strength. The wise person applies this law to their work, relationships, and time. They respond to life as the river responds to the mountain, not with defiance, but with grace. In the world of work, this means shifting from strain to flow. The one who forces their will upon every moment soon exhausts their spirit. But the one who observes the currents of opportunity and waits for the right tide acts with minimal effort and maximal result. The craftsman who pauses to breathe between each stroke will carve more beautifully than the one who rushes to finish. The gardener who senses the coming rain need not carry buckets of water. To work with awareness is to let nature assist you. In relationships, doing less means listening deeper. The wind carries messages only to those who are still enough to hear them. Many speak to persuade, few speak to understand. Yet true harmony arises not from speaking much, but from perceiving the heart beneath words. A single glance, born of presence, heals what 1,000 explanations cannot. Time itself bends before this art. The frantic mind divides the day into fragments, but the calm mind experiences its wholeness. A moment fully lived is worth more than an hour half noticed. When you do one thing with complete attention, drinking tea, sweeping the floor, writing a letter, the universe folds into that act. All else fades like mist on the morning lake. Nature does not multitask. The pine tree grows without consulting a clock. The dawn arrives without an alarm. When we attune ourselves to this pace, we discover that stillness is not idleness. It is power at rest, awaiting the right moment to move. Productivity born of harmony, not hurry, becomes a sacred act, a quiet cooperation with the unseen intelligence that sustains all life. Thus, the art of doing less reveals itself as the art of being fully present. It is not the absence of motion, but the absence of unnecessary motion. It is the wisdom of the mountain that stands yet transforms, the patience of the seed that waits yet becomes. There is a tale from the Tang dynasty of a young monk named Liang, who sought enlightenment through relentless effort. Each dawn, he would strike the temple bell 100 times, sweep the courtyard thrice, and meditate until his knees trembled. Yet still his mind swarmed with restless thoughts. One evening, exhausted and disheartened, he approached his master, a serene old monk who tended to a small patch of moss by the pond. "Master," Liang pleaded, "I have done all I can, but peace eludes me. What more must I do?" The master looked at him and smiled. "Perhaps," he said softly, "it is not peace that eludes you, but you who elude peace. Sit by the moss and do nothing." Days passed. Liang resisted at first, his mind a river in flood. But gradually his breath slowed, the ripples stilled, and for the first time he saw the moon's reflection resting whole upon the pond. The master whispered, "There. The moon has always been there. Only your stirring made it disappear." This is the paradox of doing less. To attain much, one must cease the fever of attainment. The butterfly lands not on the hand that grasps, but on the hand that remains open. In this stillness, the natural order resumes its flow, and what seemed distant arrives unbidden. The Tao teaches that the sage does not resist paradox. He works without working, speaks without words, rules without control. To the hurried, these phrases sound absurd. Yet look at the bamboo. It bends in the storm and thus does not break. The mountain yields to erosion, yet endures millennia. What appears passive is often the deepest form of strength. In our world of ceaseless striving, this wisdom feels foreign. We praise the blaze, but not the ember, the sprint, but not the breath that sustains it. Yet the ancients knew that balance is the true source of endurance. A string too tight will snap, too loose it will not sing. So it is with our efforts. The art lies in knowing when to tighten and when to release, when to act and when to simply be. To do less, then, is not retreat. It is refinement. It is polishing the mirror until only the reflection of the sky remains. The more we release the compulsion to control, the more life arranges itself with quiet precision. As the monk learned by the pond, the moon never left. He had only to stop stirring the water to see it. Before dawn, when the sky is neither dark nor light, there is a breath the world takes. In that breath lies the door to stillness. The sages of the East called it Wu Xin, the empty heart, the mind like a clear lake. To practice the art of doing less, one must enter this breath, this interval where all things rest between becoming and being. There is no need for elaborate ritual. The true practice is born from simplicity itself. Sit where the air moves gently, by a window, a garden, or a quiet corner. Let the spine rise like a mountain, unmoving yet alive. Do not seek to command the breath. Allow it to arrive and depart, as the tide does upon the shore. With each exhalation, imagine the river of your thoughts returning to the sea. With each inhalation, draw in the silence of the mountain. In this rhythm, the cluttered mind softens. The body becomes transparent, as if woven from mist. The world outside continues. Birds call, distant traffic hums, but none of it disturbs the center. This is not escape, it is reunion. For stillness is not the absence of movement, but the presence of awareness. When you rise, move as the bamboo sways. Let each motion emerge from necessity, not compulsion. Pour your tea as if it were the first cup ever poured. When you walk, allow your steps to follow the earth's natural song. You will notice that time begins to stretch, the moments widening like ripples in still water. In that expansion, clarity blooms. Decisions become lighter, work more fluid, conversation more genuine. You discover that by doing less, each act deepens, each breath brightens. The Taoist masters taught that even the smallest ritual, when performed with full presence, becomes a bridge between the visible and the unseen. Sweeping the floor, washing the hands, closing a door softly, all become acts of harmony. The ritual of stillness is not confined to mornings. It is a way of moving through the hours without leaving traces of strain. And when the day ends, let the mind empty again, as the sky releases the sun into night. Sit quietly once more and watch your thoughts settle like snow upon the mountainside. The world will continue to spin, but within you, the eternal silence will hum, a soft echo of the Tao itself, reminding you that nothing essential was ever lost, only hidden beneath the noise of effort. When the wind rests, the lake remembers its reflection. So too, when the mind grows still, life returns to its natural order. The art of doing less is not a retreat from the world. It is a return to its rhythm, the silent pulse beneath all creation. The mountain does not climb itself, yet it stands. The river does not rush, yet it arrives. If your heart has quieted even a little, carry this silence with you like a lantern through the noise. Do not chase the next moment, let it find you. The path of Tao unfolds in its own time. Stay upon it, and the world will move with you.